Welcome to the Get Offset podcast. My name's Emily.
And my name's Jim, all the way up here in Canada land.
And Andrew is not here. So sad.
He is at a group meeting revolving around his church, I believe.
I don't think that's true.
Is he united? He's United. You know what United is the most relaxed, other than being a Quaker, United is the single most relaxed religion you could ever be a part of. Like I respect that Andrew is a United member. If he was Catholic like I was raised, we'd have more questions. We'd be talking about how he uses his Jazzmaster and the Catholic chorus on a Sunday morning. They're like, Jesus the Lord, meow meow. Okay, sorry.
Oh gosh, you're letting your Canadian out of the bag there.
Oh, because I said sorry. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
And the way Canadians say sorry is so charming.
Do you find that we say sorry in a way that we're sorry that we're actually saying sorry? That's what I find. Like as a Canadian, I don't really identify very nationally because I think we're every bit a disgusting country that America or other countries are. We're terrible to our Indigenous people. We could just have a podcast about how terrible Canadians are doing. Do you find my voice just got better? I just put an 1176 compressor on my voice, and I think it's sounding even better. I'm having a lot of fun because I'm like a recording person, and I've never done a podcast, and now I get to use like this really nice microphone, this really nice preamp and compressor, and I get to send it all to Seattle.
Yes. Live in real time, getting sent to me over the interwebs.
That's right.
So
Seattle, home of the Posies. Do you like them?
yeah, I do. I saw the Posies with Big Star once. I think it might have been the last Big
Oh
Star
yeah.
show.
I've in 1992 they put out a record called Frosting on the Beater that I absolutely adored. And then well, I didn't listen to them much after that, but I must have listened to this song called Solar Sister, which you'll now go because this is what you do when you'll enter music into the podcast right now. So
Mm-hmm.
now you'll put some music in the podcast. You'll be yeah.
Yes.
Don't you think I'm made for podcasting?
Yeah, I think you're doing a great job so far, Jim.
Oh, I think you're not going to have a guest this good this week.
It's like saying I'm my mother's favorite daughter.
Do you think Andrew wants to know or doesn't want to know that I smoked marijuana before starting this podcast because I wanted to be loose?
I had a gin and tonic, and now I have Crown Royal. So I don't.
Ooh.
He doesn't like the marijuana.
Well, is he
He's not
against it
against it.
philosophically? No, he's
No,
okay.
he just finds it less enjoyable than like a nice beer.
Fair enough.
Oh, my husband just got home.
Oh, what's your husband's name?
His name is Rick.
Rick. And what does Rick do for a living?
Rick does something loosely involved in the technology world.
Like, is he a... Did you guys just turn on your dishwasher or something? There was a big noise there for a sec.
Yeah, that's the garage door opening and closing.
Oh, are you in the garage?
No, I am upstairs. It's a pretty cheaply made townhouse that I live in, Jim.
Okay. Yeah, I live in a house that doesn't have a garage. It doesn't have any things connected to it. But I'm
You
in
don't
my...
have a garage in Canada?
No, we don't have garages because the snow will crush them. No, I have a separate studio building that I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I have an NPR voice like Terry Gross.
Is that
right
the fixed hinge? Yeah, how about you tell people who you are, Jim?
Oh, I am I'm a musician, and I also make records, and I have a studio in my backyard, which I built with a shed permit in Ottawa, Canada. And you have to it was the largest building I could build without getting some kind of amendment and getting this weird permit that would have cost me like $2,000 Canadian, which is about $1,640 American. And so I make records up here, and I make my own music and sing and play and tour, and mostly in Canada, sometimes in Europe, never in America. For some reason, I opened 2 tours in America, and I never got any other shows after that, which might have something to do with how my music does not connect to Americans or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm more of a Commonwealth performer.
I don't know. I have no answers. I like your music, and I'm in America.
Mm. And
Is that something?
we both have white jazz masters.
We do. I
Oh
love
my god,
mine.
I can't wait till I tell you the story of how I turned a Squire J. Mascis Jazzmaster into a completely custom Jazzmaster, one part at a time.
Nice. Yes. I remember you talking about this.
Isn't
Like
that what
us
we wanna
talking about
talk
this.
ab Isn't that what we wanna talk about?
That would be a good thing to talk about, don't you think?
Well,
If you
isn't
if you
this
don't
a
want to talk if you don't want to talk about cats.
Oh, we will talk about cats, but isn't Get Offset means we talk about offset guitars?
It means we talk about all manner of guitar related
Hmm,
endeavors. Some of them are music industry endeavors. We like to hit social issues,
love
talk
it.
about uh, sexism in the industry, about mental health, about
Oh, yeah.
all kinds of fun and exciting things that just
Oh
we feel strongly about. The name's kind of a pun in a way about like offsetting the status quo of gear culture, but also it's a Prince reference, and also it references guitars that are offset.
oh, yeah. It's I like all of this stuff. I can tell you about you know how there's Facebook gear pages and all that, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, you guys probably have those in Seattle.
Like the swap and
And
trades,
well, or
the sales.
like there's a series of recording pages up here called All Buttons In, which is a setting on an 1176 where you push all the ratios in at the same time, and then it's this crazy distorted compressor. And I think it's something that somebody discovered by accident.
As all
That
the best things are discovered that way.
Yeah, so it's one of these things discovered by accident, and then so they're called that. So then there was a really good a post by an American female musician about her experiences with gear and gear pages and going to music stores and stuff like that. And I put it up there and thought that, I think we should all read this. This is all about, the kind of stuff. And then all these people were just like, they just went crazy, all these like kind of white male guys. And
Mhm.
then I was just having so much fun. I was just like mocking them. And then there was so many comments. There was like 150 comments in 2 hours.
Whoa.
And they shut the comments down. People left the page. People were sending me mocking messages and stuff like that.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Capital yikes.
You know what we should talk about, because Seattle probably will get an NBA team, I hope, again, right? Or do they have one still?
We do not
They
have
lost it.
we know we have a WNBA team, and it's wonderful. But,
Mm.
that you actually just reminded me of something. People who listened to last week's episode might be expecting a different episode this week. Last week, we released, part 1 of a two-parter about online harassment and trolling, and since Andrew and I were just unable to find a collective time to record this past week, uh, I asked you to be on the show, and then Andrew and I will do the troll thing, harassment thing again next week. So your post about in that gear group reminded me of that, because that's basically it.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, and then it was all the shit hit the fan. I
Mm-hmm.
wonder if I can find my posts. You can always find your things you have for sale, like my 1967 Guild Starfire 5 I have that, if I really wanna I wanna sell it, and I'll tell you why I wanna sell it.
Does
I
it
wanna
smell
sell it.
like maple syrup? Because I had a Diarmid Starfire that smells like maple
Oh,
syrup.
wow.
It was something special.
No. But it was I got it in Boise, Idaho.
Oh, I love Boise.
Yeah. Yeah, and I went and it was a woman that had brought it in from her husband, either passed or something. I don't actually know the exact conditions of that, but it's like this guitar that was in the original case with like the care instructions and everything, how to care for your new
Oh,
Guild guitar. And I
oh,
have it and I just don't use it enough, and I think
yeah.
somebody else should use it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I get that.
So, I'm sure it's gonna sell just because of this. I'm pretty confident. Just doing this podcast, I've probably sold a guitar.
Yes, I gotta imagine you've sold that Starcaster by now.
It's a Starfire. The
Starfire.
Starcaster
Gosh, I'm
Starcaster
sorry.
is
I did have to
no,
hit on
no.
it. That Fender.
Yeah, it's like some kind of weird early '70s Fender
Mhm.
that, I did this tour with Kathleen Edwards, and the opening act was Hannah George's. So Hannah George is open, and she lived in Vancouver for a long time, but now lives in Toronto. And she just made a bunch of songs with Aaron Dresser from the National.
Ooh.
Yeah. And her guitar player was this guy, Ted, who is also plays with Tegan and Sarah, lives in LA now. And he had one of these early '70s Fender Starcasters that were the
Mm.
coolest guitars. I'd never
They're really
seen them.
cool. They're so neat. Jessica Dobson from Deep Sea Diver has one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And then don't you find it's like when you somehow get a car and you never noticed that car before, but then when you
You
all
see it everywhere.
yeah, so
Yep.
it's then you see the guitars or you see your blue J. Crew sweatshirt or something like that. My partner bought me a somewhere between seafoam green and baby blue um, sweatshirt today, and
Oh.
it's already my new favorite thing.
Is it still sweater weather?
You know what? We're having a rough spring into summer here. Like it's all week it's like 22 degrees.
That sounds hot. I don't know the difference.
Oh, that's Celsius. That's like 22 degrees is probably like high 60s.
Okay, that
What
doesn't
is
sound that cold. I know that 30 degrees Celsius is like 80 degrees Fahrenheit.
uh I trust you on that.
I don't know.
Okay.
I just
So
think it's hot. I think
20
30 is hot.
Okay, so 22 is 71.
Oh, that sounds
25
lovely.
is 77. Yeah, we're basically once the clouds go away and we don't have these massive rains that flood everything, we're basically having a San Diego summer. Like for the next 14 days, we're not getting over 70. We're not even hitting 80 degrees.
That's really nice. Yeah, we've had a couple hot Seattle has I don't know if you have these. Seattle has what we call them like false summers or fake out summers where a few days it'll be like warm, tank top short weather, like go ride your boat in a lake or something. And then it'll be 60 degrees the next day and your flowers are like the hell is this? My crops are
Yeah.
confused. My poor jalapeno plants.
Yeah, we had stuff where it was like in May where it would be like, oh, well, I'll tell you what it was. It would go down to like like high 30s at night in like late May.
Oh, no. Oh, no, no,
Do you know
no.
what I'm using? I'm using a Google conversion where I just say,
Aha.
hey, it went down to 35.6. Then today it was up to 64.4. So
Well,
it's one of those things.
yeah. That's the easiest way to do the things.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about cats now, right?
Yeah, cats. Do you have
Yeah.
cats?
Yeah, we had two cats. Our one cat died at the beginning of May.
Oh,
Uh,
man, I'm sorry.
why the temperature was approximately 53. .6 Fahrenheit.
That's so
Um,
cold.
well, it was sunny in 56,
I mean,
53.
I prefer cold weather. That's why I left Nashville, Tennessee, and moved to Seattle, Washington.
Mm, mm. You left Nashville. Oh yeah, they get the
Yeah.
humid, right?
Oh god, did they get humid. It's disgusting.
You know what's crazy is when you're in like a place like Richmond, Virginia, in like October, and it'll be like hold on, it'll be like 82.4 or something,
Yep.
or but it'll be like really humid.
Mhm, it'll suck.
Yeah.
It's just like I just that's about when I stopped wearing makeup because it's just I just sweat it off as soon as I leave the house. Like this is hell. I'm in hell. And I had to wear like pantsuits to work for a while. That was the worst. 95 degrees wearing pantsuits. Yes, you're in AC everywhere except like from the walk from your car into the Tennessean and
Holy jumpins, you're talking about 35 degrees Celsius.
yes, very hot.
95. 95. I remember being in Arizona once, and it was 102 Fahrenheit on a clock at 8:45 p.m. This was in June or July of 1994
That sounds like the
on
Southwest.
tour, sleeping in garages and stuff. Those were the
Oh
days.
no. Oh
Were
no.
those even were those even the days? They were the
They were
days.
they were days.
Yeah, they were days.
I'm sure of that.
I like a nice, honestly, I like a nice 77 Fahrenheit.
That's nice, yeah.
I think the cats like it too. When the cats go out, so we had this cat Manush, which we got. We named it Manush, which is actually a French, like an erotic French word. We didn't even know that until like 6 months ago, and the cat died at 17 because we named it. There was a cat treat up here called Pounce, and on the other side it said Minouche, as in pounce, but Minouche in French means more like pounce, like on someone else.
Yee.
Yeah, like it's like come like it's has something to do with foreplay or something like that. So and then we were like so my partner and I were like sitting there and we're, this cat is dying and I've looked up its name and I'm like, "Do you realize that we named our cat like a really, really kind of
Sexual
borderline
name.
like a borderline, like not sort of mellow sexual name, like something to do with like putting a move on someone is like to manoosh, and then it always made sense because the cat would sit on you and lick your nose constantly.
Lick your nose?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
it
so
would sit
sweet.
on your ch it'd love to lick your nose, and yeah, its thing was it would sit beside you and meow until you gave it attention, and then its thing would it when it was younger, it would lick and then bite you, but then when it got a little older, it would just sort of lick your nose, and
Aw.
then if my partner and I were ever, like, sitting on a couch together and we even pondered looking into one another's eyes to even mean we acknowledged one another, the cat would jump up and try to sit between us because it felt like it was getting the raw end of the deal of somehow.
Andrew talks about how his wife will sleep right between him and his wife as if to, like, separate them.
You just said his wife would sleep between him and his wife.
No,
Are
his
you
cat would sleep
suggesting
between his
are you su
wife, yes.
are you suggesting that Andrew is part of a polygamous cult?
Yes.
I know I
I'm
haven't met
sorry, that was
Andrew.
a secret.
Uh, I haven't met Andrew, but I do now know that he's part of a polygamous cult
Mhm, mhm. You know, it's big up here. Yeah, those polygamous cults are big up here.
up in the
And now I
Northwest.
just and now I
There's
just
so many
realized that
forests.
that could be construed as a bad joke about against the Mormon population. Wasn't going that way. Andrew's
I
not a
don't know.
Mormon,
No,
and
I
also
don't
I
know.
would make that joke. You know, Ken Jennings is a Mormon from Jeopardy fame.
Oh, the guy that won all that money last week.
No, no, the one who won all that money like 10 years ago.
Oh, who's the guy that won all the money last week?
You know what? I forgot his name already. My mom texted me about him like all the time. Like he's just amazing.
Really? Yeah, I like that. That's good
Yeah.
that you have a mom that checks in on you with that kind of stuff.
Mhm. Mhm.
No-
Yeah, that's the important things.
When my parents were alive, my dad's thing was he would like every day he would write me about he'd call me every single day and he'd ask me, and he would read. This was at the time before like social media was a big thing. It was like, like beginning like 6 years ago. So Facebook was there. He wasn't part of it, or Twitter. He wasn't part of any of that. But he would. So it would still be that you would actually update a website with news or whatever.
Mhm.
So I would update my site, and I would be, dry and use sarcasm or something, or tell half truths. And so my
Mm.
dad would call me, and he'd say, "Oh, very interesting. I was looking at your website, and it says that uh you believe that you might turn into a piano if you're not. I don't think you're probably not actually worried about it, that are you?" No, but I'm just joking. It's just sort of
Yeah, 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 yeah.
no, it's just sort of the yeah. It was very funny. He would always just like he would verbatim ask me questions like about my website, and just about things I had said, or things I had, you know, all that stuff.
Mhm,
And he would just take it like it would just be like, yeah. It would he would just take it like every word I said was
mhm, mhm.
verbatim. Like there was no humor involved in it. There was nothing, which is surprising because my dad was a very sarcastic guy, but he didn't really get written sarcasm because he thought I was generously telling and
News?
conveying, um,
Yeah. Mhm.
all this
I
information.
get that.
Yeah.
It's funny how times change, in, like, the people in your family who actually keep up with that kinda thing. Like, my grandmother, when she was alive, listened to every single episode of this podcast. She didn't play guitar, she didn't get the name, she didn't like cats, like, she was just very supportive, and she went to listen to it. Yeah. She would've turned 80 on, this coming Wednesday.
Your grandmother turns 80.
No, she's dead.
Ah, she would have only turned 80.
Yeah.
Like my parents are both passed, and my dad died at 81 and my mother died at 88.
Yeah, I had, my 2 great-grandmothers on my mother's side, both made it into their mid-90s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but my grandmother had, cancer and ultimately died, from complications from
Ah,
treatment of that cancer. It happens. It
ah.
sucks. It sucks, but at least it's the kinda thing that you sorta see coming, and I got to go down there one last time, took a week off of work, just hung out with her when she was getting put into the, comfort care at home, looked through a picture book that my brother had made for her of a bunch of pictures of his daughter. So looked through that with her and watched HGTV or whatever she wanted to do, ate a cheeseburger with her.
That's nice. The cheeseburger's the nice part.
Yeah, shared some french fries.
Come on,
She
really?
lives in a very small town in, South Carolina called Belton, and they have a burger place there called Arnold's, like, in Happy Days, but it's not like a diner. And I gotta say, they're good burgers, like, I expected nothing. The bar was on the ground, but, pretty tasty cheeseburgers in Belton, South Carolina. Arnold.
I'm looking up Belton on the map here.
Yeah, and if you look up Arnold's, the thing about Arnold's is it is located directly next door to my great grandmother Boots's house. So I
Really?
grew up right next to that. Well, grew up
You grew
somewhere
up
next to
you
her.
grew up in South Carolina?
No, I grew up in Ohio, but we'd go down there every summer
Oh,
and
yeah.
sometimes spring.
So I wanna look up Arnold's in Belton, South Carolina here.
I'm sure the Yelp reviews are very positive.
Yeah?
Yeah. So you grew up in the house that you live in now, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, it's true. I know, it's
Yeah.
weird. Isn't it weird? Nobody wants to hear that stuff.
It's less common.
Um,
My husband wants to buy his childhood home at some point
well, that's a good idea. That's
in
a good idea.
Columbia, Missouri.
Oh, you don't wanna live there. I don't even know it. You don't wanna live there.
Oh.
You wanna
No,
live in
you're
Sea
right, you're
Yeah,
right,
yeah. You wanna live in Seattle.
I wanna live in Seattle. Yes, I don't wanna live in a state, uh, that the, NAACP warns people against going to. I don't wanna live in that state. Sorry, Missouri.
Mm,
You got some
mm,
stuff to work out. I
it's
love,
true.
Shakespeare's Pizza. I like your toasted raviolis. No offense, Missouri, I hate your pizza.
Excuse me,
Your barbecue's alright.
can you go back a bit? You said toasted ravioli.
Yeah, St. Louis is famous for their toasted ravioli.
Wow, I had no idea.
It's, like, breaded, and it says it's toasted. I don't know if it's actually toasted or if it's deep fried.
I
It's
hope
delightful.
toasted, deep fried
Yes.
good. Do you know
Is you
that,
get it with the marinara sauce. Mm.
are you aware that the, Canadian team won the NBA championships, this week?
I I heard that, but when
Last
it's
week?
not Cleveland, I just don't pay that much attention.
Mm. Oh,
Mm.
LeBron James team.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, this is the first time an American team didn't win, and, we really like, the whole nation got behind it.
Yeah, I'm happy for you all.
That's
I
what
don't wanna
happens.
see I don't like dynasties, so I was hoping Toronto would win. I've heard that I'm not supposed to pronounce both T's in that word, but I can't not pronounce both
You
T's in
you
that word.
you can say Toronto any way you like.
Thank you. How do you say it?
Toronto,
Toronto?
Toronto,
Why not the other T?
Toronto, Toronto. Welcome to Toronto.
Mhm.
Yeah, I say Toronto. Toronto.
Toronto. Alright,
Toronto. Very weird.
alright. It's not as
Very
bad as
weird.
Louisville.
Louisville?
Louisville, Kentucky.
Louisville.
Actually, what's worse than, Louisville, what's worse than that one is they have a Versailles, Kentucky that's spelled like Versailles in France, which is just
Mm.
can't and Ohio has a Lima spelled like Lima, Peru, which is also not great.
I like that Lima, Peru. That's a good one, actually. That's really good.
Lima.
Hey, you guys going down to the Lima flea market? Yeah.
Yeah. This week's episode, is sponsored by wrist grips. Do you know what wrist grips are, Jim?
No.
Let me look up the website. It's wrist dash or a hyphen grips.com, and they're compression wraps specifically for musicians. Uh which I appreciate because I get wrist pain sometimes, and it makes it feel a little better.
They're called wrist riffs?
Grips.
Oh, grips.
Yeah,
I
wrist
thought
riffs.
because well, it sounded like it'd be a good, hmm, wrist grip at Amazon. I don't wanna look that up. Oh, wrist grip review. Wrist grip wrist so what am I wrist grips for musicians.
Yes.
Oh, here we go.
I just got mine. I was playing with it a bit this weekend. It was nice.
Mm, they look like sweatbands.
They do. They
Yeah.
do.
Well, look at this. The second picture is a keyboard player wearing 2 of them because
Oh, because they
it
use both
is
hands.
yeah, because when you're playing keyboards, you don't know what's gonna happen to your wrist.
You have no
So
idea.
that's to help carpal tunnel?
I think it's just any kind of wrist pain. I don't really see uh supports wrist, corrects playing form, and increases blood flow slash oxygen. I actually in May I was having some really awful wrist pain, and I went and I was working an event. And so I had to go to like the closest store and buy just some like normal wrist wrap thing, and
Yeah.
just to remind myself not to move my wrist if I didn't have to. It was embarrassing how it happened though, how the wrist pain happened. Very embarrassing.
What I like to ask wrist grips, um, I have really bad hand cramping in my right hand when I play guitar because I
Mm.
finger pick.
Yeah.
And so when I strum and try to hold the pick, that muscle between your thumb and index finger that looks like on my hand, it's like a little lump,
Mm.
but it gets really tight and then it forms this little ball in my hand. Like it's like somebody put a spell on me for a second.
Yikes. Do you get is it a cyst? What is it?
No, it's just like, I don't know if it's carpal tunnel. I don't know if it's something from. I've been taking magnesium for it,
Mm.
but I wonder if wrist grips have anything to do with that. Like if I feel like I have blood flow issues, but
Well, it says it's good for blood flow.
hmm,
Though I doubt they would want to make any absolute medical things. I know I have a pair and I have to hand Andrew off his pair, but they're nice. They're really easy to use. He's playing a guild in one of these pictures.
is that Andrew playing the guitar in the wrist grips ad?
It is not.
Oh, I thought maybe that was Andrew.
No.
But yeah, that is a nice Guild guitar.
Yeah. I love those tail pieces.
Oh yeah, those are nice.
Mm. Ugh, that's pretty.
Those are really nice. That looks like that it does still look like a bit of a reissue maybe, but
Not probably.
that is that nice that's a pre 65 kind of era Guild
Mm.
pickguard. They used to put those. Have you ever seen a Guild aristocrat?
Um, maybe. I'm
It's a late 50s guitar into maybe the
Oh,
60s. It's a smaller body, but it's hollow body, but it's smaller body, no F holes. And it has P90s, but they're white covers, and they're apparently one of the nicest
oh,
P90s.
nice. Oh, Google just changed everything, and I don't like it. Yeah, that's nice.
They What did they
Oh,
change?
just like their navigation in a way, like their icons. And now if I click on a
Hmm.
picture in Google search, it comes from the side, which I'm not. Wait, what the? Oh God, why is it so weird? All right, I'm gonna stop looking at Google. Yes. Um,
Are we going to talk about offset
we are.
guitars ever?
Yes. Oh my God. Mm, yes. Let's talk about offset guitars. So Jim, how's that J Maskus Jazzmaster treating you?
That's funny because before the break, before we even recorded, while we were trying to get things going, I was excited to talk about my J Maskus Jazzmaster, which no longer is a J Maskus Jazzmaster.
Well, then what is it?
Um, well, Emily, funny you should ask. It started as a J Maskus Jazzmaster, and then the first thing I did was I didn't like how the Squire trem system worked, and I thought maybe it's because of the spring. So I bought a U.S. Fender one on eBay, and then it was better, but on the and then I wanted to get a better system, and there's this UK company called Stay Trem. Do you know
I
about
know
them?
Stay Trim.
Yeah. So I got a Stay Trem arm and you know assembly, which then hooks up to the spring of the Fender, I think, and that. So I did that, and then I got a different neck because I wanted a fatter neck on it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I bought this big, giant C-shaped Fender all parts neck from Alabama, and then I bought a Lawler. I bought Lawler
Nice.
P90s, a Lawler P90 for it,
Yeah.
and bought um, then I bought a body from MJT,
Wait.
who's an American,
Wait a second. So you have a new neck, a new trim system, new pickups, and now a new body.
a new body, and a new wiring
Of course,
harness.
of course.
The only th- so the only thing that is kept from the original guitar is the gold pickguard because I really like that, and the Squire neck plate. It says Squire on it
Okay.
because I like that. It's an ode, but and the MJT body is like aged and stuff like
Nice.
that. And then if you rub a little like coffee grounds and stuff, it really brings the dark color out of the cracks they've done. So it's really nice. And then so pickups. And then I have a Stay Tram Mustang bridge on it, which I had to get. And then I sold my J Maskus Jazzmaster in a plastic bag, what was left
Just
of
all the
it, and the
parts.
old parts for
Oh,
$250.
nice.
Yeah, my friend who has a 64 Jazzmaster said to me, "I think you might have built the most expensive parts guitar of all time."
The most expensive, though?
No, I don't believe it.
There's no way.
There's no way because all these expensive jazz masters that people put together, like I'm not going to insult them, but like Danocasters and
Yeah.
stuff, they charge you like $3,000 for a bolt-on neck parts guitar.
They do. They do that. What's crazy is like there's some companies that just take straight up like use Squire necks and then they rub off the Squire logo and like do some sort of like branding kind of situation on there. But like you can tell it's a Squire.
Do they really?
Yes, that's the thing.
Hmm.
And they sell them as like these custom parts guitars. I'm like, but they're just like Squire guitars with just say what they are. Just say they're cheap guitars with like fancy pants relicking.
Well, I'm enough of a nerd that I know that jazz masters made by Fenders rarely had a truss rod adjuster on the headstock.
You had to take the neck off.
So the Squires all
hmm
have them, and then but even the made in Mexico Fenders
hmm
don't.
Oh, but that's so
And I
annoying
had this
when you have to
weird
do a truss rod adjustment. You have to take off the neck every single time.
what you do is you just take your little pick guard and then you get a Dremel tool out and you turn it into a new accessible
That's
piece.
a good point. I could have done that with. I got this Mustang body with a Fender Bronco neck, and like underneath the tailpiece for the Mustang, it was all like routed out for like some sort of uh Floyd rose or some shit like that. And then the same with the neck at the top of the neck, just above the nut, that was all routed out for a Floyd rose or whatever. So I was in my garage yesterday and I figured out that I could kind of jam something in there and get the truss rod to adjust without taking the neck off every single time. To a point,
Mm.
yes. And I felt like a wizard.
And so what color is that
It's going to be
Mustang?
natural.
What was it originally?
I have not the slightest, not a chip of paint was left on that thing.
Hmm.
Yeah. And of course it's not the original neck, so can't look it up that way. But it
Well,
was I
so the
think a
body
72 neck.
that's a okay, and the neck is early 70s and the body is earlier or later?
No idea.
Hmm. So you're gonna keep the Bronco neck, you're gonna do it as a Mustang.
Yes.
Does it have the trem tailpiece on it? The little trem bridge on it?
No, I bought something else. I bought from I think Faction Guitars a stop tailpiece for it.
Hmm,
Which is
that's
crazy.
neat.
I love vibrato systems, but I hate them on Mustangs.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I already have a Mustang with a vibrato system and I thought, maybe I should just have something that might be a little bit spankier, just to use a weird word. A little snappier
Yeah.
maybe.
Oh, yeah. So
Yeah.
you do these vibrato plates. Oh, they make a lot of plates.
They do.
So what guitar templates. So what is it exactly that how did you find that they did hard tailpiece vibratos?
Exactly. I was just Googling their SEO is okay, and I
What's
found
an
them.
SEO mean?
Their search engine optimization.
Oh, that sounds
Sorry,
lovely.
that's what I do professionally.
You are a web programmer,
I'm a marketer.
designer, marketer.
Marketer.
So you buy a Mustang bridge plate that becomes a stop tailpiece bridge plate, so it still looks like a Mustang,
Mhm.
and then you just put a regular Tune-o-matic bridge on it, or you put
Yep.
a Mustang bridge on it?
It's a tunematic.
Oh, put a Mustang bridge on it, please. Mustang
Uh,
bridges are great,
I mean,
and they
uh,
look great.
I do. I already have the other one, and maybe I will buy one eventually. But I also, my friend Sean Arbow from a company called Gunstreet Wiring sent me a Bronco body.
Really?
Yeah, he sent me a Bronco body. So in time, I might swap the necks on those two, and I might
And is
get
it
a
like
different
a nice
Mustang neck for my Mustang. Bronco would be totally a Bronco.
like, light ash kind of body? How is it? The lighter I love the super light bodies, they resonate.
I haven't gotten a good look at it because I got it. a couple weeks ago, and I've just been so busy with existing projects. I know
Mm,
that there's still some remnants of, like, the red paint job, but then I think someone did, like, a green paint job on it at some point.
that's the one he sent you?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. He's moving his shop, and he found out I had that knack, and he's like, "Oh, I love Broncos," sent me the body, like, a pick guard. He even put a wiring harness in it because he's the sweetest guy in the industry as far as
Oh,
I'm
that's the
concerned.
best. That
Yeah.
really is the best.
He's a great dude. If you ever need a wiring harness, he'll, like he
Oh,
sent me one
really?
for my, Fender pawn shop offset special, because I was getting new humbuckers put in it. And he was just chatting, he was like, "Let's do a push-pull thing where if you pull the tone knob, it turns into, like, a bright, like, a Jaguar sound," which is not how you would say that
Mm,
word.
Jaguar.
Mm,
Well, I have a I the on my Jaguar, I got a Jaguar, my
Jaguar,
Jaguar, my Jaguar. I
Jaguar.
got I got the switch set up wired so that you can have them in parallel.
Oh, nice.
So when they're all up, I bought this 90s Jazzmaster on the eBay
Mm.
from Ja Japan,
Ooh,
and, uh, and it showed up as very, like, rusty and, like, it was almost like they just left it by the sea. All the tuners are really, really, affected and really dark, and which looked amazing. But then I decided I got the pickups re rewrapped.
mhm.
Up here, we have this amazing we live in Ontario, which is like Toronto, the Toronto Raptors. They're 4 hours west of us, 4.5 hours west of us. We're in the capital city of Ottawa. And, so this guy outside of Toronto rewraps pickups and makes custom pickups.
Nice.
He's called An American should think of this guy because he's called the Pickup Wizard, and he does these pickups. No, it's amazing,
Love it.
but he does amazing single coil, like, Telly pickups, amazing single coil Jazzmaster pickups. He does great P90s, and, his prices are way better than, like, Lawler or something would be, and because he's a smaller builder and stuff like that, and what with your dollar, with your all-encompassing, crushing Donald Trump comb-over dollar, you could buy these pickups for, a penny a glass
I will just say that the
instead of
conversion rate was pretty much in America's favor before Donald Trump.
yes. I did buy my Jaguar when the conversion rate was quite even. Um,
Oh, wow, this website's
so
straight out of 1998, though.
which one? Oh my god. I haven't looked at it. Let's look. I haven't looked at
Oh
it
my
lately.
gosh.
Does it have a wizard hat?
Yes. It does.
Oh yeah.
Oh, man, it's not a transparent PNG, so it's just, like, white background against a gray background. Lots of so many different fonts, sizes, and colors.
Yes.
I love this. It's so pure.
But check it out. You can buy the pickups. You can buy vintage style Alnico 5 magnet, and he will do your pickups wrapped the way you want, and they're $190 US a pair.
That's
That's
pretty
pretty
good,
good, eh?
yeah.
And you can do the CBS style Jazzmaster pickups for the same price. They're all the same price. Vintage style Jazzmaster with plain enamel wire, or he does all the different eras of these. And then he does, well, like you say, you're looking at where's the Mustang pickups? He will rewrap Mustang pickups for sure. But I
I
have,
need that Bronco pickup rewired.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is a Bronco mean it has one pickup? Is that what it
Mhm,
is?
it's the bridge pickup only, and a Music Master was the neck pickup only.
Mm,
And if I'm wrong, somebody's going to correct me. That's the beautiful thing about having a podcast.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
Actually, I do
thank
believe
you.
you're right.
That means a lot coming from you, Jim.
Why does it mean a lot?
I don't know. I just need the affirmation today. I'm I have a lot of anxiety today.
Mm.
Yeah.
I've been I've just come out of a time that I've had like the worst depression and anxiety of like since yeah, for like years and years and years and years.
I'm glad you're coming out of that.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
you carry the demons, you let go of the demons, you
Huh.
I live a complicated life, but it's not that complicated, but
Yeah. No, I have very it's very situational. Late last week someone reached out to me about so there's this band kind of like with rotating members in Seattle called the Blood Moon Orchestra, and every full moon this group of women gets together and they just do a completely improvised set. So they'll be like, "Oh, we're going to do a jazz song, we're going to do a funk song, we're going to do a country song," and the songs could be like 10 minutes long. And the woman who often plays guitar with them messaged me and said, "How comfortable do you feel improvising and it, hold on, an entire set of music?" I'm like, "Well, I don't know if that's something you're comfortable with until you do it." So I've agreed to come tonight, and then with the assumption that being that I will sit in on a few songs, and I am so scared,
you're so scared.
so scared.
But when I've watched you play guitar online, and you look like someone that can probably just sit in and just kind of like you play like you understand music,
I do understand
you know?
music, but this is
No,
it's a new
that sounds super weird and mansplaining or something,
no,
but
no, no, no.
or like guy like but there's people that play guitar in a way that's muso,
What does that mean?
and muso is like music school, like
Oh yeah.
muso, like they'd be into
Yes, yes,
like
yes,
they went to
like
Berkeley.
a working muso, I get that. I was accepted to Berkeley and didn't go.
Yeah, we call out east, we know muso because of Berkeley, because it's not that far from here. It's like 8 hours. And I know so many people that, through things that have gone to Berkeley. And who went to Berkeley is Adriana Lenker from Big Thief.
I did know that because she got some scholarship situation, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Gillian
'Cause
Welch and David Rawlings both went there too,
oh, that makes
and so
sense.
did, John Mayer.
That makes
I
sense.
think Lucinda Williams? I don't know. I
Mm.
remember a lot of names from the application packets and the acceptance packet or whatever. But then I talked to some people and they said if you get accepted to Berkeley, don't go unless they give you a full ride scholarship because otherwise you're probably just paying for someone else that they think that can actually make it in music.
Mm.
Yeah, and they don't
I
guarantee
can only
housing, which was a problem.
here is I just looked up famous people who went to Berkeley.
Hmm.
Quincy Jones,
He's from Seattle.
Natalie Maines,
Oh, I love her.
Susan Tedeschi.
Tedeschi from Tedeschi Trucks, I assume.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see who else. Some very famous people.
More country
Oh,
musicians than I expected.
Esperanza Spalding,
That's right. She's good.
Keith Jarrett.
Don't know Keith Jarrett.
Oh, he's a jazz musician.
I guess I probably should know Keith Jarrett.
No, you don't have to know him.
I
Paula,
could try.
I'll tell you who you do know. That's Paula Cole from
Mhm.
Dawson's Creek. I don't want to wait
For our
for this
life
life
to
to
be
be over.
over. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I should think about that song once a week, probably. I don't know
It's
why.
very good.
It's very catchy.
Melissa Etheridge,
Love her.
Amy Mann,
Mhm, mhm.
Deanna Krall.
Oh, yeah, she's married to Elvis Costello.
Yeah, Elvis. She's married to Elvis.
Mhm.
The wrong Elvis.
No,
No, the
that's
right
that's
Elvis. I'm just
that's the
joking.
right Elvis.
Well, it's the best. It's the best Elvis.
Yeah, the preferred Elvis.
Rivers Cuomo. You mentioned him, didn't you?
No. I actually didn't know he went to Berkeley.
I don't think he did. I think this is a lie.
Yeah, that does not sound right.
No, we got Quincy Jones,
Yeah.
Charlie Puth. I don't know who that is.
Oh,
John
he's
Mayer,
I
Stephen.
saw him on the Today Show, like, the 4th hour of the Today Show once, so he's made it.
Oh, he's yes, he definitely has. John Mayer, Steven Tyler, Melissa Etheridge,
Steven
Quincy Jones,
Tyler, that
Tony.
ain't right, that ain't right. This is a lie. It's a lie. That cannot possibly be right.
Yeah, they're ranking famous Berklee College of Music. Oh, he probably got a honorary.
That might be a
Let's keep that in mind.
let's keep that in mind.
Shaka Khan,
Ooh, that also does not sound right, but I'm here
M-
for it.
Megan Trainor.
Oh, my friend plays bass for her.
S- Really?
Mhm. Maurice
That's a lot of that.
Ellis.
That's a lot of backing tracks, eh?
He's the bass behind It's All About That Bass.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't in the studio, I don't think, but he plays with her live. It's always funny watching, like, the Today Show or whatever, and then be like, "Hey, he used to play bass for me. He got upgraded a lot."
He'd be playing to a lot of backing tracks with in-ears
Yes, I'm sure that is the
when
case.
you're with Megan Trainor.
Yeah.
St. Vincent, Annie Clark.
I think that's true.
What about Lisa Loeb? Do you believe that?
Yeah, I do believe that.
What about Melissa Ferrick?
I don't know Melissa Ferrick.
What about Jan Hammer, who wrote the Miami Vice theme?
I absolutely believe that.
Um, I believe if it lists Joey Kramer, then all of Aerosmith was put in. Oh, this makes sense. Will Cahoon from Living Color, because the Living Color guys all went to that. Elliot Easton, he would have a honorary degree because the Cars have a
Yeah, yeah,
Boston.
yeah.
Yeah,
That would make sense. Oh, is Aerosmith from Boston? That sounds like a
yeah.
thing. Okay, okay, yeah. That sounds like a thing.
Mm. No, that is a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Gillian Welch. Do you
I
think
said that.
Bruce Hornsby?
Yeah, I would think that I think that he would have gone. Maybe for a master's. I think some of these might have been master's
Hmm.
degree folks because I think Gillian and Dave met in a master's program. She was originally a drummer, like Nico Case.
Really?
She was a drummer in a psychedelic band.
Oh wow.
Gillian, Nico was a drummer in a punk band.
Yeah, they were called Mao
Mhm.
from Vancouver when she was
Yes.
living illegally in Canada.
I mean, I don't blame her for wanting to live illegally in Canada. Your healthcare is so
Yeah.
much better. I paid $1,000 to have a panic attack once. That was so fun.
Really?
Mhm.
Um, when I get a panic attack, my family doctor doesn't believe in prescribing Ativan because she said it's too addictive. So she suggested a book on Amazon that I get.
Do you get it on a subscription basis?
No, we don't have that here. But I just thought that a very interesting response is that you should try these books. And I thought that doesn't really help when you're
No,
having
why
a
not?
panic attack. I'm just going to read
Not in
this
the moment.
book.
Yes.
It,
Yes.
it says Juliana Hatfield went to it.
From Belly?
No, that's not Juliana Hatfield.
Wait. It's not?
What's her name? Jesus. Tanya Donnelly, because she was in the
No.
yeah,
Wait, yes, that was Belly. You're right,
yeah.
you're right.
Juliana
When the
Hatfield was in the Blake Babies.
My middle school had a book about Riot Girl, and it changed my life, but Juliana Hatfield was in it. As were, the Deal sisters and Liz
Yeah,
Phair, and not that Liz Phair is really Riot Girl, but
she was initially. Well, not Riot Girl, but she was pretty interesting and compelling. Well, she's amazing. Liz Phair's amazing. Let's be
Mhm.
honest. She's amazing.
Speaking of offset guitars and music masters.
Oh yeah, Mustangs. What'd she play?
Mhm. She plays Mustangs and Music Masters, it
Yeah,
seems. Yeah.
those are good
Oh, I
size
love her.
guitars. I like the size of those
They are.
guitars.
Yeah, me too. I used to play much. bigger bodied, like, jazz box kinds of things. I had a Gibson 135 that was my main guitar
Ooh,
for a very long
what's a how's a
time. Mhm.
35 different than a 25?
I can tell you how it's different from a 37, but I can't tell you how it's different from a 25 without Googling it.
Okay, so neck pickup you said is Music Master, right? I'm looking at images of Liz Phair. And yes, she
Let's see,
definitely.
the 125, I have a single cut away,
Oh,
single
and it
cut
has
out.
one pickup?
It has 2 pickups, mine has 2 humbuckers.
Your 125?
My 135.
Hmm. I don't know about that. Or about how that changed because 125s were P90 guitars.
Yeah, a lot of the 135s are also P90 guitars, but mine is a humbucker.
Oh, I see it. It's like a tobacco
Mhm.
single cut switch and lots of them. Does it have that nice trapezoid tailpiece?
It does.
Oh yeah, I know what they
Which
look
can
like
give you a
now.
really nice subtle vibrato.
Oh yeah, and then some of them had the P90s. Yeah, that's nice.
Mhm. Yeah, and then it's lighter weight than the 137 because the 135 has balsa wood in the middle to prevent the feedback and whatever. And then I think that the 137 has mahogany or some denser, heavier
So it's
wood.
way heavier. Boy,
Yeah.
maybe I should be looking for a Gibson 135.
I would sell you mine.
How old is it?
Um
I
Early
want P9.
2000s?
I want P90s
Oh,
though.
P90s. You can get humbucker routed P90s.
I can, I.
Mhm.
But then I first have to buy the guitar, then I have to do all that, then I have to do all that.
Yeah. You have to do all the things.
I have to do all the things before I even get that.
Yeah, I could
Mm.
take it to Canada with me at the end of June and mail it from Canada so it's less expensive.
Oh my gosh, I gotta tell you this story
Yeah.
about you sending me a guitar.
Yeah, I
Can we
did
talk
send you
about that?
I sent you a kind of guitar.
You sent me a kinda guitar for sure.
That's a kind of guitar. Yeah, go
You
ahead.
sent
Let's hear the
you
story.
sent me this well, I don't know, I wanna know the story of you getting this guitar.
So, I sent Jim it is I think it was originally a harmony arch top, and then at some point someone turned it into a mandocello, which is like a very big mandolin. And then at some point someone said, "4 voicings isn't enough. I'm going to add a 5th voicing." So they added 2 more tuning pegs that like I don't know if I ever sent you a picture, Jim, but I took them out because they were horrendous looking. They were made to be in line, not on each one on each side. So the spacing was super weird. But this
Wow.
person custom cut a nut, had a bridge custom made, but the tailpiece only had 8 pegs. So some of the strings were wrapped, like some of the pegs had 2 strings on them. So I bought this at Emerald City Guitars, had a big like yard sale or junk sale, you could call it. I bought it for 40 bucks. I think it was listed for 60. Yeah, so you posted on Facebook because we're Facebook friends, uh, that you needed were you asking for a mandocello specifically? I don't remember.
No, I was actually looking locally to borrow an octave mandolin, and then
Mm.
you said I have a mandocello, and that's secretly what I actually wanted.
Oh,
And you know what? You're right. It sounds really good.
it does sound really good for being such a weird thing.
Like it has some buzzing, but then if you play with the bridge, the buzzing stops.
Yeah.
Did you take the frets out?
No. I forgot to mention that there are a bunch of frets missing. And there's a pickup in it. I've never plugged it in.
There's a pickup in it, really?
A pickup in this guitar.
I didn't even know that.
It's like you can look in and you can see just like because I was trying to figure out what the hell it was, so I shined a flashlight in it and I could see like all this glue and stuff, and there's like electronics in there.
Oh, wow.
It is such a weird thing, and I just I love weird things, so I had to have
Yeah.
it.
I'm gonna play it. One sec.
All right,
It's just right here.
have you used it at all?
I haven't recorded with it. I've been playing it.
It's fun.
I know. I
It
need to
has that
be.
really deep V kind of shape to the neck.
Oh, I had a capo on it, so it makes it all messed up. But I have my tenor tuned to the same.
Oh, nice. The strings are pretty new. I did that.
Do people normally play on the show like this?
Not yet, but that's nice. Yeah. A little more out of tune than it's supposed to be, I'm sure, but it's yeah, I mean, I have fun with that thing. So I live in a three-story townhouse, and I have it on one of the landings on one of the stairs, and one of my favorite things about going upstairs to the top floor is as I walk up the stairs, when I hit the landing, the whole landing vibrates enough to make the guitar go, "Ah." It's really
Yeah,
nice.
great.
Yeah.
And
It's
now it's in Canada.
now it's in Canada.
Now it's sitting in Canada.
Yeah, it's getting a little probably a little bit more love and affection than I've given it in a while. I remember when I was sending it via FedEx, they're like, "So what's the value on the guitar?" I'm like, "The guitar? Nothing. The case? $50. Let's go $50 for the case."
Oh, yeah, the case is nice.
Yeah, I think I got that case. I think that came with my Seagull mini jumbo, which I got for college because I didn't want to take. I only have one other acoustic guitar, and it's a Gibson Hummingbird, so I didn't want to take that to college. Understandably.
It's so you can't even play my tenor because I brought it inside.
Oh
I
yeah.
do this thing where I bring these guitars inside and hang them on the wall. So currently I have this 61 Martin tenor that's hanging on the wall.
Mm, that's
It's the
nice.
first Martin I bought. And
What?
now I have it's the first Martin guitar I bought. And now
Mm,
I have three of them, four of them, three of them.
nice.
Do I have four? I have four. Holy
That's a lot of Martins.
sorry, Andrew.
I said the F word, I think. Uh,
I don't
I'm not 100% sure I said the F word.
I mean
Yes. He'll never listen. He doesn't listen to the episodes. I don't know why I edit them.
mm,
Shh. He's like, I was there. Um, yeah. I like Martin guitars. I'm hoping to buy one soon.
yeah, they're good. You just want to you want to look at them, find them used, and that's the way to go.
No, I'm gonna buy them new, man.
Don't buy them new, buy them old. They're
I'm gonna
better
buy
old.
them. My buddy Ramin makes them. I'm gonna buy them
What do
from
you
Ramin.
mean?
My
Oh,
he works there.
you should get you can get a cool you can get cool like there's the guy from the Milk Carton Kids. He
Oh,
has a nice artist model.
mhm. He does?
Yeah, I mean it's $2,500, but
Is that Canadian dollars or American dollars?
let's check it out. I'm gonna check it out right now. It's the Milk Carton
Have you seen those
Kids.
guys live?
No, I saw them once at the Ryman playing like three songs. Oh,
When was
at
that?
at Americana Fest.
What?
Yeah,
I was at the Americana Fest the time that they played 3
oh
songs
yeah,
at
it
the
was like
award show.
yeah, I was there.
I was sitting next to I had done some work what were you doing there?
I was playing with somebody, playing guitar with somebody.
Who were you playing with?
Oh Susanna. who lives in Vancouver. Well, she's from Vancouver and and then moved to Toronto, but now she's actually moving back for a year sabbatical of
Nice.
living that way. Yeah.
I had done some work for Jed, and so he gave me really nice seats for the Americana Awards show. I just remember what I remember about the milk carton kids at the Americana show is that at one point somebody yelled something while they were on stage, and the funny one says, "I thought I told you to wait in the car," and I looked at my now husband and said, "He stole that joke from Dolly Parton."
Hmm. I think he did steal that joke from Dolly Parton, right?
She's so yeah, that's a great Dolly Parton joke.
Have you
But
seen
then I
Dolly?
was in this have I seen Dolly?
Yeah.
Um, I don't think I've seen Dolly.
Mm. I,
Oh, no.
I saw her like 2 summers ago, and she played sax.
What?
Yeah, she played because she plays sax, and then she did this thing where she's playing sax, and she's playing the Benny Hill theme on sax.
Oh my god, the yakety sax thing? Or is that a different song?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
and then
yakety sax.
she says, "You guys want to hear me play this backwards? You guys want to hear me play this backwards?" And then everyone's like, "Yeah, play backwards." And then she stands backwards and plays it.
Oh, she's so funny. She's so funny. Loretta Lynn's funny too. Have you seen Loretta?
No, I have not.
I saw her at Bonnaroo one year, and I was right up front for it, and I was real excited. And she goes and she plays all her hits: "Don't Come Home a Drinkin'," "Fist City," "The Pill," yada yada. And then she says, "You know, y'all been such a good crowd. We don't always play this one, but we're gonna play it for you tonight." And then she plays "Don't Come Home a Drinkin'"
Oh,
again, and we're all just kind of looking around each other like, "Oh, okay, sure, all right, you do you, Loretta."
so good.
Yeah, I actually just did a tribute night for Dolly Parton.
Oh, amazing.
Mhm. It was pretty cool. Some people picked some deep cuts, which was really nice. Including some funny ones like Something Fishy Going On. Do you know that song?
No.
Yeah, that's one of her funnier songs. Um it's about a philandering gentleman who always says he's going on fishing trips, and it has that great line, "I bet some big mouth bass left that lipstick on your shirt. I don't think you're a fisherman, honey. I think you're a flirt." Classic Dolly.
That's really good.
And for those of you in Seattle, I'm playing this Thursday at the Royal Room a tribute to Patsy Cline and Linda Ronstadt. And I have learned solos for songs. And please come. And I need the affirmation. I need it.
Oh, that's so good.
And the money. Yes. Linda Ronstadt, man.
Oh, so good.
Though someone picked the song "Somewhere Out There," and I'm listening to the song like from the I don't know when this movie came out. American Tail. It might have been the late '80s. It was an animated movie with mice.
Yeah. Yes, it is actually. Yeah, I saw, you're correct. That's so funny. You're correct. That is an animated movie with mice in it. Yeah.
I love that one, but I forgot that was her. And then that song has a good like I'm listening to the playlist of people picked. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I probably don't have to learn this song because about half the songs are with the band, about half aren't. And I have to guess because I don't even have the full set list yet. The show is on Thursday. I digress. And then like I'm just singing a song, I'm about to hit skip, and then this guitar solo comes out of absolutely nowhere. No guitar on the rest of the song. Screaming guitar solo in the middle that makes you go, "Oh, damn it!" And then no more guitar at all.
Really?
Why? Just like why? Who does that?
You know who does that? 1964 does that.
Just the year.
Now it was I listen to like these old recordings and the stuff that happens on them makes no sense sometimes.
No, sometimes it just doesn't make any sense.
I know, but it's so good.
Yeah.
And then things come out of nowhere, like volumes and stuff are just like crazy. And oh my God, we've been
Yeah.
talking for an hour and a half. How are you ever going to edit
Well,
this?
there's breaks.
What's that?
Minimally. I will edit it minimally.
Oh my gosh.
That's the thing about podcasts is like sometimes, like when it's just Andrew and I, we try to cap it at 140.
Okay.
I mean, not 140, at 40 minutes.
Oh,
And then guests we try to cap around, 130,
okay.
depending
We're at
on
one.
how much
We're at
we're
one.
talking.
We're at 123, and we
Is there anything else you want to talk
well,
about though?
we do have to hear from our sponsor, Casper Mattress, which I have to tell you a story, not the Casper mattress, but I will tell you a story about a Casper pillow. Is that I was recording a traditional Newfoundland band. Newfoundland is an island off the east coast of Canada with the
Hmm.
greatest accent that Canada could ever be a part of.
Wait, I've never heard this accent. I need to hear you do it.
I'm not, I don't, I would never insult our fine Newfoundlanders by doing their
What if
accent.
I did my what would you feel better if I did my insulting accent for Minnesotans?
You'd have to do Cape Cod, it's closer. Um, I would like to hear your Minnesota accent, but Newfoundland is it's like a rural, it's an Irish sort of accent, but it's a whole other thing, like the way they talk and guys, you be down there, I guess, huh? Oh, boys, you're not putting a microphone in front of me tonight, Tony. Oh, boys. Boys, I'll tell you, he had the crab, brought the crab in right from the line, and that's how we had it. That's a little more Ottawa Valley with Newfoundland, but I like to do accents in this voice, by the way, Emily. Oh yes, Emily.
You spent a lot of hours on tour buses bored of this shit, I can tell.
Well, you can sit in the middle row of a van with headphones on and just speak to yourself the whole day. Oh
Yeah.
boy, I wonder how far Deloitte is from here.
Deloitte.
I don't even know if that's a town.
I don't know if that's a play. That's a recruitment company.
Deloitte, Illinois. I can't wait to get to Ball State, Indiana.
I would not even
Okay.
want to know what state what
So,
venue you're playing in a place called Ball State, Indiana.
we have a very, very, very popular public radio show in Canada called Q, and the host of it is a film named Tom Power, and he's from Newfoundland. And
Mhm.
he has a band called the Dardanelles, and they came in to do some recording for a grant application because I guess maybe we'll record my music. But Tom was tapping his feet enough that like the concrete floor was creating bass things. So, and we tried a couple things. First, we tried a blanket, then we tried just a pillow in the studio, and then I'll tell you what actually worked was I went in and got a Casper pillow.
A Casper pillow.
Yeah. I actually didn't. I realized I got a Costco memory foam pillow, and it
Oh, that's well, I mean, but Costco does sell Casper products, so it might have still been a
oh well
Casper product
well I
from
was
Casco.
a Casco. Yes, you boys are going to Casco, are you? You better get frickin' make sure you get me the 75 pack of 7 Up.
Oh yeah, you gotta get the right noodles for the hot dish at the Costco. You
Oh,
got to.
oh, geez, guys, if you don't get me them Costco noodles, I'm not gonna be able to make Thanksgiving dinner.
I'll go to pot. Oh, just I'll go to pot, and you'll be riding your tricycle down the stairs. Don't you know? It'd be just awful.
Oh, boys, I gotta tell you, Tony was coming in. I'll tell you, he was at the bar a little bit late. Anyway, he shows up with that Casper mattress in a box. So anyway, the Casper pillow, the pillow was the saving. It saved the session because he could run his feet on it.
Nice.
Yeah,
I bet Casper pillows are fine, but if you haven't tried a purple pillow, you haven't lived, Jim.
it's called a purple pillow.
Well, Purple is a mattress company. I don't have their mattress, but I have one of their pillows, and it's like this little, rubbery kinda substance, and it's like these little rubber grids,
Ooh, looks
so it's
really
you sink into it, and yet you are fully supported, and
and
also it's always cool. It doesn't ever overheat like memory foam pillows do. It's
Ye
amazing.
Yeezus
My husband stole mine.
Yeezus Christmas, Emily. It's $169 Canadian plus shipping.
Uh, they were a client of mine at my full-time job, so that's how I got that pillow.
Jesus Christmas, Emily, that pillow's $169, and I can't bring that home. If I bring that home, someone's gonna think I sold the F-150.
Oh, those are good trucks, man.
Yeah.
Them's good trucks.
Them's
Them's
good
good trucks.
trucks.
Them's good trucks. Always smells real dusty when you put on the AC, though.
Oh, buds, you know,
Oh,
we
yeah, sure.
I think we're getting a little, off
Farther
topic.
away from it?
Ah,
Yeah.
I think this is where we this is where we
This
say
might
goodbye.
this might be it. Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast. Again, this
Oh,
is Jim Bryson. You should buy his single "Better on Drugs" on the Bandcamps. How much is that single, Jim?
oh my gosh. Well, you can just stream it now on Spotify, but I did this thing where it's $30, and,
How'd that work out?
I'm not gonna lie, it was very successful.
I'm glad. I'm really glad
It's just
because it's
also
kind of crazy when you think about how you used to be able in like the 60s to buy a 45 for a buck, and now you can buy a song for a dollar still. Like
we don't
that
even
doesn't
you don't even have to buy a song, you just, all you have to do is YouTube it, or you pay $9.99 a month, or but I mean, do that, and it's,
Christ, my developer husband just listens to free music on Spotify. I'm like, just buy the membership. Buy it. Just spend money. Just own things.
yeah, so, you know, so it was really good, like, it was, like, over I think it was almost $2,500
Nice.
Canadian.
Still.
You made $2,500 Canadian on that song, I'll tell you. If you're down in the South, all you made was, like, 20.
But you could still get a tune tone guitar for that, I'm sure.
Oh my gosh, I think it would cost more than I think it would yeah, yeah.
Um,
I talked to her about
Layla.
getting Layla, but just getting a neck, because I want this is the one thing I wanna do this Jazzmaster, is I wanna get a neck from, like, an from a company that I really like the way the headstock works and
Mhm,
looks, and I
mhm.
really like her headstocks, but I can't spend like $700 on a neck. So has to make sense.
Well, the thing about her next is that, like, not only does she not do this full time, so she can kind of charge whatever, like, her she values her time at, but, like, the metal parts, she has those,
I know.
fabricated just for her
I know.
instruments.
I
It's kind of
know. It's
amazing, and
amazing.
yeah, I'm
There
picking mine up at the end of the month.
you're oh you bought an instrument. That's going to be great.
I did.
She lives in
Mhm.
Edmonton.
She does, but she'll be in Vancouver for the Vancouver International Guitar
Oh,
Festival,
amazing.
as will I. Mhm.
If you're there and there's a company from called Millimetric there, check it out.
I don't know if they weren't there last year.
He does the same thing, but and he machines parts. The only
Mhm.
thing he doesn't do is tuners, but he machines his knobs and he machines his bridges and like bridge and like saddles and everything. Like
Yeah.
the same way that Lila does, like they machine
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the parts. Tuners are a little tough. Like it's almost like when someone's like make your own spaghetti and you live by an Italian market. It's like you're not going to make your own
Yeah.
spaghetti.
Well, yeah, I can buy the spaghetti, and it's good spaghetti, like, yeah. I actually, I think my guitar will be the first one of hers that's gonna have vintage style tuners on it.
Oh yeah, that's what you want.
That's what I
I
like.
always want vintage style tuners. I don't like sealed tuners at all. I don't like how they look. Not into them.
I don't either, and, like, it's just the temptation, like, how people just leave them, like, unclipped is just
Hmm.
bothers me, and also I get stuck with them more when I'm using them because 'cause I'm not the most graceful human, um, in the world. But I hated vintage style tuners when I first got them, and now they're just like, I gotta put
Oh,
them on all my
so good
guitars.
because then you can put You can put the string in the middle of it, and they wrap
Mhm.
better. Oh, I love it.
They
It's
do.
so
Mhm,
efficient. I
they just
can't
look
believe that
cleaner.
anyone ever got away from them.
I know, and I think the locking tuners are kind of the same way.
Oh
Like, those
yeah,
are with people who use those, which are fine. But I like the vintage style tuners. I'm a
love them
fan.
too.
Yes. Well, Jim, where can people listen to your music or support you in other types of things?
Um, I guess I'm on Bandcamp and Spotify and Apple Music, and then that Bandcamp. Then you can buy stuff if you actually want to buy it. And then the
Mhm.
other ways you just listen to it, and that's nice. I'm totally into people just listening to stuff too. Doesn't It's
Yeah.
fine. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just realizing I forgot to put some of my podcast stickers in that guitar case.
Ugh.
Son of a
Ugh.
bitch.
How
Oh.
dare you? How dare you?
Eh, I forgot. Eh.
Well, there's always next
Eh.
time.
Oh, next time I send you a guitar,
That's
when you
right.
buy that 135.
Oh yeah, that's right.
No pressure.
If it was P90s, we might have a conversation.
Mhm. I get that. I was playing a lot of jazz, so it was more important for me to have something that was quieter and not something that was more powerful.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. And honestly, in that guitar, I would take it to somebody to switch out the pickups because I do not want to do the whole like fishing line situation that you have to do to get like the
yeah.
pickups out. Yeah, no,
No, you know what you do is
that's
you
just not
sell
my
that
style.
guitar, and you get one
Yeah.
with P90s in it that you want. I don't believe in like changing guitars up dramatically when it's just way easier to get a guitar you want.
It
That's why
can be.
I'm never gonna change. I'm not gonna take a '60s Guild and mess around with it. I'm just gonna like
I mean, no, I'm
sell it.
talking about like not exactly the golden era of Gibson Gibson guitar.
Yeah,
Uh,
you're really selling me on it.
I love that guitar for a lot of years, and I took it out a while back. I'm like, it after I set up, this will be a really nice guitar again, but I'm just it's just not where my heart is right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, I
And I
know.
just I just and I just wanna like the thing I tell my husband is like, yeah, I have a lot of guitars, but I play them all. And when I stop playing them, that's when I'm like, I gotta get this.
Yeah,
Like pedals I can hoard. Guitars that like laying around the house like cats, maybe not so much. Maybe not so great. In a little itty bitty townhouse that I could afford in Seattle, which is a notoriously expensive city to live.
oh yeah. The Seattle's very. It's very.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you going on tour anytime soon?
Not really going on tour. I'm like doing stuff with Kathleen this summer. We're going to the WXPN festival.
And that's Kathleen
Um,
Edwards for people who don't know first names.
yeah, and then I'm working on songs with her here. We've been working
Mhm.
on some new songs, and then
Exciting.
doing some overdubs on stuff she did in Nashville. She made a bunch of
Mhm.
songs with Ian Fitchuk, who did the Casey Musgraves record that won all those awards.
Oh, yeah, her agent was, someone that I love very much, Lenore Kinder.
Okay.
Yes, she's a great, great lady, Casey's agent. And also Casey Musgraves, I assume. And also this producer, I assume.
Uh, yeah, they're all very nice people. Um,
Yeah.
uh,
Well, they can be. They can all be.
yeah, I don't know if they
People are
actually are.
complicated.
I don't even know if they are.
I
It's like, oh,
yeah.
they're such nice people. I'm like, I don't even know. I don't know him. Buddy isn't as nice as you think.
Not as nice as you think, he just when he gets the bottle, man, he just is he's a little rude, I'm not gonna lie. He's he's in rare form when he's, hit the bottle a little hard. Just too many old Milwaukees.
That's so funny.
Yeah, no, I was Lenore's intern for a while. That's why I love her.
Ah,
Um, no, Kathleen's great. I like her music a lot.
so good.
Mhm.
So good.
I'm excited. I remember my college roommate and I bonded a lot over our love of Americana and listened to Williams and Kathleen Edwards and those kinds of folks. So
Oh yeah. Well, I'm sure
yeah,
if she makes the music I think she's gonna will come we will we she would come back to Seattle. Maybe I would be with her. I'm more
yeah,
interested in recording than I am in touring right now.
mhm,
So, but
I get that.
I think that I'd probably come on like the basic stuff anyway. I like being home more.
Yeah, I get that. That's one of the reasons I didn't really pursue music is that didn't seem like fun ultimately.
Yeah.
I just like my bed and my cat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those kinds of things. I really have a lot of respect for people who tour. I like to drag people out to shows all the time because I know how it is and can be, and how great it can be. I'm sure,
Yeah.
but I love my. I, it's like comedians have to saying local jokes get local work, and all I want is local work.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I just like being home. It's a nice way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Speak
And you have a nice little
I know I have a
family.
nice little family, and speaking of home, I actually have to go in because now it's
Mm-hmm.
like 11 o'clock, and I have to. My wife and I are doing like these talks every night. We just
Nice.
talk to each other every night, and we just have this like end of
Oh.
the night kind of connection thing because we're like reconnecting and doing
Oh.
all that stuff. So
That's really
yeah.
nice. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go do that with my husband, and then I'm gonna have him drive me to a show. But hey, this everyone listening, this has been the Get Offset podcast. Thank you so much for being here,
Oh my gosh, I
Jim.
talk so much. I'm so sorry.
It's great. It's this will edit down really well. So for everyone listening, thanks for listening. Thanks for understanding. Again, I am Emily.
I'm Jim. She's Emily.
Good night.
They're Emily.
Good night.
I'm Jim.
We're all Emily. We're all Jim. It's everybody's
There we
got.
go.
Uh, good
Okay.
night. Bye.
Bye.